Welcome to this edition of the Lucid Quest Endocrinology Strategic Roundup, covering developments from July 21st through August 24th, 2026. The defining story of this reporting period was the growing importance of reducing treatment burden across the diabetes patient journey. Competition is moving beyond glucose-lowering efficacy alone, with convenience, access, usability, and earlier integration into care becoming more important sources of differentiation. In this monitoring period, 4 themes stood out. The first was the rising value of convenience in insulin and injectable therapy. NICE recommended Eli Lilly's once-weekly Onswick, while European authorizations involving Stevanato Group's Alina pen platform highlighted the role of delivery design. Strategically, when clinical outcomes are comparable, fewer injections and easier administration may influence treatment acceptance, caregiver burden, and commercial positioning. The uncertainty is whether these benefits will translate into meaningful differentiation once pricing, reimbursement, prescribing behavior, and real-world persistence are considered. A second theme was widening insulin competition through biosimilars and partnership models. FDA approval of Garzoulis adds another rapid-acting insulin option, but the broader signal is organizational. Development, manufacturing, regulatory, and commercialization capabilities can be distributed across specialized partners. This could expand participation in complex biologics markets and increase pricing and contracting pressure on incumbents. What remains uncertain is commercial traction, particularly formulary access, payer positioning, supply reliability, and physician adoption. The third theme was the movement of glucose monitoring further upstream. Dexcom's participation in the FDA Tempo pilot will explore whether glucose biosensing, contextual health data, and AI-supported insights can support earlier metabolic intervention. Wales's standardized type 2 diabetes diagnosis resources point in a related direction by emphasizing consistent support at the start of the patient journey. Together, these developments suggest that competition may increasingly extend into prevention, early engagement, and care integration. The key question is whether these approaches can demonstrate meaningful outcomes and fit sustainably into reimbursement and clinical workflows. The fourth theme was the longer-term potential of cell-based type 1 diabetes therapies. Rice University's localized IL-10 research targets a central barrier to cell replacement, protecting implanted insulin-producing cells without systemic immunosuppression. If that barrier can eventually be addressed, competition could extend beyond managing diabetes toward restoring physiological insulin production. But this remains preclinical, with human safety, durability, scalability, and manufacturing feasibility still to be established. Looking ahead, we will be watching regulatory progress for once-weekly insulin, Garzoulis commercial uptake, evidence from the Tempo pilot, implementation of Wales diagnosis resources, and whether localized immune protection strategies advance toward clinical development. The key takeaway is that reducing friction in diabetes care is becoming a competitive objective in its own right. Clinical efficacy remains foundational, but future differentiation may increasingly depend on how effectively therapies and technologies fit into real-world care. Thank you for joining this edition of the Lucid Quest Strategic Roundup. For more healthcare market intelligence and strategic analysis, visit www.lqventures.com.